Okay, so let's recall back. Okay, the rules for differentiating the functions. Okay. Okay, so we have a product rule. Okay, so this one product rule, if you still can remember, quotient rule and also chain rule. Okay, so for the normal one, different for the constant, so we know that if we differentiate a constant, it will be 0. Okay, so if we differentiate power rule, okay, so meaning that x power of squared or x power of cube, okay, so we will have like n x n minus 1. Example, if we differentiate x cube, so it will be n is 3x power of 2. Okay, it will be like that. Okay, so if we have the product rule, okay, so if we have u times v, so the product rule, the differentiation will be u prime v plus u v prime. Okay, alright, so for quotient rule, okay, we have if we want to differentiate u over v, so it will be u prime v minus u v prime over v squared. Okay, so just remember, if you want to differentiate u over v, so it will be u prime v minus u v prime over v squared. Okay, alright, so for how about quotient rule, chain rule. Okay, so the last one. Okay, so this one, if you want to, okay, so this one we can see when we have the example later on. So if you want to differentiate the f, inside we have the gx. Okay, so it will be, we differentiate the gx also, then we need to multiply the f prime gx. Okay, alright, so we will, it's better for us if you can see the example lah. Okay, so for example, what is the example? Okay, let's say d dx, if you want to differentiate like sine 2x, for example. Okay, so it will be inside here, so meaning that 2x is the gx. Okay, the f is the sine. Okay, therefore we need to differentiate the sign, which is we will obtain cos. Okay, but it still remain 2x, but we need to multiply with the g prime x, meaning that we need to differentiate the gx here, so we will obtain 2, so meaning that we have 2 cos 2x. Okay, that is chain rule. Okay, if you still can remember. Alright, okay, so now let's look at the example here. Okay, determine the partial derivative of the following function with respect to each of the independent variable. Okay, the partial derivative of the following function, so meaning that we want to find the fx and also the fy. Okay, the partial derivative. Okay, with respect to each independent variable. What is our independent variable? X and y. So we want to find the partial derivative of x and also the partial derivative of y. Okay, so now if you find the fx, meaning that it will be del x lah, for x y squared ln x. Okay, so for this case we have x and ln x. Okay, so this is product rule. Okay, product rule. Okay, so we have u and v. Okay, so let's consider as this is u, this is v. Okay, so we will have u v prime plus v u prime. Okay, so what is our u? U is x y squared. Okay, what is ln x? Okay, ln x is, we need to differentiate v prime. Okay, u is remain, so for v prime What is v prime? Okay, v prime is 1 over x. Okay, so multiply with 1 over x plus v remain, okay, ln x. So what is u prime? Okay, u is xy squared, so u prime will be y squared because y is a constant, right? So it will be y squared. So we just rearrange this. So this one we can cancel out. So y squared plus y squared ln x, or we can write it as y squared 1 plus ln x. Okay. Alright. So I can write it again. So this is fx. Okay. So now what is fy? Okay. So fy means we need to find the del y. Okay, xy squared ln x. Okay, so this one is easy because x ln x is constant. Alright, so that's mean we just differentiate the y squared, so we'll obtain 2y. So x ln x remain lah because it is constant. So this is the answer. Alright, next one. Let's say we have this z equal to x squared plus 3y power of 5. Okay, so this time we want to find del z del x, okay, which is okay del x squared plus 3y power of 5. Okay, so we want to differentiate respect to x. Okay, so in this case this is chain rule. Okay, chain rule, remember. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to differentiate the whole thing, the f first. Okay, the whole thing is 5x squared plus 3y power of 4, isn't it? Okay, and then we need to differentiate it again inside, which is x squared plus 3y, which is 2x. Okay, so this is chain rule. So 10x x squared plus 3y power of 4. So we simplify that. Okay, just bring 2, multiply 2 with 5. Okay, how about dz dy? Okay, del y x squared plus 3y power of 5. Okay, again we use the same thing, this chain rule. Okay, so 5x squared plus 3y power of 5. So this time we need to differentiate with respect to y, so multiply with 3 only because x squared is constant right now. Okay, so it will be 15x squared plus 3y power of 5. Okay. Alright, next one. Okay, we have x cos 2x squared plus 5y. Okay, so in this case, want to find del z del x. Okay, so del x. Okay, so this one is a little bit not complicated, but basically it is product rule. Okay, so basically we can see it is u multiply with v. Okay, so in this case, what is u? U is x, and what is v? V is cos 2x squared plus 5y. Okay, because we want to find u v prime plus vu prime, isn't it? Okay, so we need to find what is u prime and what is v prime. Okay, so u is equal to x, so u prime will be equal to 1 lah. Okay, so v is equal to cos 2x squared plus 5y, so v prime will be, so this one is chain rule, so we need to differentiate cos first. Differentiate cos will obtain negative sign 2x squared plus 5y, and then we need to differentiate again the 2x squared plus 5y, that one is the gx. Okay, which is with respect to x right now, so we 4 multiply with 4x. 5y is a constant. Okay, so negative 4x sine 2x squared plus 5y. Okay, therefore del z over del x is equal to u. Okay, so u is x, v prime is negative 4x sine 2x squared plus 5y plus v is cos 2x squared plus 5y, u prime is 1. Okay, therefore we just simplify minus 4x squared sine 2x squared plus 5y plus cos 2x squared plus 5y. Okay, so this is the answer for dz dx. Okay, so now let's move to dz dy. Okay, so we still need to differentiate, but this time with respect to y, where x is a constant. Okay, so this one is easy lah. Okay, because x is constant, so you just need to differentiate the cos. So differentiate cos here, so we will use the chain rule as well. So we'll obtain x is remain constant, so we'll have cos. Okay, so 2x squared is constant, so we just need to differentiate 5y. Okay, so meaning that we obtain 5 only. Therefore 5x cos 2x squared plus 5y. Okay, alright, so this is the answer. Okay, how about this one? Okay, so we want to find the fx and fy. Okay, so obviously this case is what we call that quotient rule, which is we consider as u over v. Alright, so for fx, of course we need to know that for quotient rule it will be u prime v minus u v prime over v squared. Okay, that is our formula for quotient rule. Okay, so of course first we need to know what is our u. U is sine pi x plus 2y, and what is our v? V is 1 plus 4x minus 3y. Okay, therefore we need to find what is u prime, what is v prime. Okay, with respect to x lah. Okay, so u prime for this case, we need to make sure that x is y is constant, so sine is cos. Okay, so again this is chain rule plus 2y, so we need to differentiate inside here, which is with respect to x, so it will be pi lah, multiply with pi. Okay, so v prime this time. Okay, so 1 is 0, 4x is 4, minus 3y is 0. Okay, alright, therefore we just substitute u prime. Okay, we just bring pi in front, cos pi x plus 2y minus u is sine pi x plus 2y, and v prime is 4 over v squared. V squared is 1 plus 4x minus 3y squared. Okay, so now we just rearrange. We'll obtain pi cos pi x plus 2y minus 4 sine pi x plus 2y over 1 plus 4x minus 3y squared. Okay, so this is our fx. So now we want to find for fy. Okay, still we need to use a quotient rule. Okay, which is u prime v minus u v prime over v squared. Okay, so remember u is sine pi x plus 2y, and v is 1 plus 4x minus 3y. Okay, but this time our x is constant. Okay, alright, so for you, okay, this one is still a chain rule. We need to differentiate sine, which is we obtain cos pi x plus 2y, and then we need to differentiate pi x plus 2y with respect to y, so we obtain 2. Okay, and then v prime, we differentiate 1 will be 0, differentiate 4x also 0, so differentiate minus 3y will obtain minus 3. Okay, so now we just substitute in. So u prime is 2 cos pi x plus 2y minus u is sin pi x plus 2y. V prime is minus 3 over v squared, so 1 plus 4x minus 3y squared. Okay, so we will have 2 cos pi x plus 2y. We just simplify, so minus minus plus lah, 3 sin pi x plus 2y over 1 plus 4x minus 3y squared. Okay.